addresses the United Nations as his time in office comes to a close.
Downtown construction on the square hits the reboot button.
And Hurricane Helene barrels toward the Florida coast as thousands evacuate.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us on ntTV Nightly News. I'm Madeline McCrory.
And I'm Jackson Berry. President Biden urged other world leaders to unite today as military conflicts rage around the globe. It'll be the final time he addresses the United Nations General Assembly before he leaves the office. His speech focused heavily on wars in Ukraine and in the Middle East. CNN's Brian Abel has the story.
His presidency to the United Nations General Assembly, President Joe Biden starkly laying out the challenges facing the world.
War, hunger, terrorism, brutality. I know many look at the world today and see difficulties and react with despair, but I do not.
The president opening his speech by recounting the global crisis he witnessed upon entering public office more than 50 years ago, citing the end of the war in Vietnam as proof reconciliation is possible.
Even from the horrors of war, there's a way forward.
The message coming amid an escalating crisis in the Middle East. Israel and Hezbollah trading increasingly devastating strikes across Lebanon's border, and U.S. efforts to broker a ceasefire and hostage deal between Israel and Hamas in Gaza are at an impasse.
Full-scale war is not in anyone's interest. Even if the situation has escalated, a diplomatic solution is still possible.
Biden also calling on the assembly to stand against Russia and continue aiding embattled Ukraine.
We cannot grow weary. We cannot look away. And we will not let up on our support for Ukraine.
Burnishing both global U.S. leadership and his own legacy, Biden also using his speech to herald the virtues of democracy by detailing his own decision to pass the torch.
My fellow leaders, let us never forget, some things are more important than staying in power. It's your people that matter the most.
In Washington, Brian Abel reporting.
Israel says it killed a top commander with the Hezbollah militant group today. The announcement came as the death toll continued to climb from Israeli bombings in Lebanon. Nearly 600 fighting between the two countries escalated last week. It began when pagers and walkie-talkies exploded a few days ago. Members of Hezbollah, as well as civilians, were killed and injured in those attacks. Hezbollah has responded by launching rockets into Israel and has promised to retaliate even further. Fall is on its way, but it doesn't quite feel like it yet.
You know what? No, it doesn't. And I hope it comes soon because I'm tired of summer in this Texas heat. Let's send over to Alexandria Teeters to see what the weather is looking like over the next 24 hours. Alexandria?
Thanks, guys. Fall is on its way, but unfortunately not quite yet. Right now, it's 89 in Denton. It feels a little bit hotter at 91, and we've got some slow winds coming in from the southeast at 5 miles per hour. Tonight, it'll cool down a little bit to 80. It'll still feel like 84 with partly cloudy skies, and those winds are going to be a little slower, still coming in from the southeast. We also are expecting some late-night thunderstorms tonight, so don't stay out too late. Tomorrow, it's going to cool down a little bit from what it was at today. It's going to be 76. It's going to feel like 76, sunny skies, and those winds are going to be picking up to about 11 miles per hour coming in from the northeast. I'll have more details for you later, but thanks, guys. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Alexandria. You know, sometimes fast doesn't necessarily mean great. Last week, the city bragged that they were wrapping up construction on the square a few weeks early, but now that's not the case. Our LiveShot reporter Kennedy McGregor is on the scene at this with more confusion and construction. Kennedy?
Thanks, Jackson. Have you ever heard the phrase, you can have a job done well or a job done fast, but not both? Well, it looks like Texas Department of Transportation has learned that lesson the hard way here in Denton. We're on Locust Street, one of two streets that closed for major improvements on August 26th. The project was slated to complete September 30th, but wrapped 2 weeks early. Super fast construction gets the cheers from everyone, right? Maybe not. After TxDOT's review of the wear and tear for the new asphalt, both roads were found unfit for long-term use. Now, construction will remain to remove and replace the top 3 inches of asphalt. Given that TxDOT owns both Locust and Elm Street, from Eagle all the way down to McKinney, city officials say it's on TxDOT to make these changes. They're asking them to finish by October 1st in anticipation of upcoming events. Local businesses like coffee shop Jupiter House right behind me have noticed a decrease in foot traffic, but they're hopeful for an end to the remaining renovations. Well, folks, use this as your daily reminder to not focus on how fast you can work, but how well you can work. That's all for this construction convo. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Kennedy. UNT's new president, Harrison Keller, has been seen this semester talking at all kinds of events. But what happens with ntTV News sits him down and leads the conversation, while our news director, Avery Callens, did just that. Tonight, we present part 2 of our Meet the President series, which will air all this week. We're giving you an in-depth look at what Keller has planned in his position here at UNT. Callens had last asked him what made him go from making statewide to university-wide decisions. Today, she asks about what Keller's leadership style is and how it differs from Neil Smotresk's, the last UNT president.
Neil had a very, I feel like, soft-minded kind of leadership style. What would you say is your leadership style, and how do you plan to implement that here at UNT?
So my leadership style, I would say 2 things. First, what I try to do is you try to build the very best team you can. It's important to have people on your leadership team who are smarter than you, who are better than you in various things that you're not as good at. So I want to try to build a leadership team that really has complementary expertise and approaches to mine, so we can all be better together. There's really 3 things that I look for. So first, on the leadership team, you want folks who are really competent, who are experts in their field, who are very capable. The second thing, though, is you want people who will work together well on your team. And the way that I like to work is where we try to bring the very best ideas we can into the mix. We're really hard on the ideas, but it's a lot of fun, and we push each other, and we innovate together. And then the third thing is what I call ambition for the work. Like if you wake up every morning thinking about how you can do your job better, that's something that's really important. I think, especially when you're in the kind of position that you're privileged to be in the leadership at a great institution like UNT.
You can hear more from President Keller in part 3 of our Meet the President series tomorrow here on ntTV Nightly News, and part 1 is on our YouTube and Facebook pages.
Coming up, Hurricane Helene forms in the Gulf of Mexico and expects to be the season's strongest storm yet.
And are popular obesity drugs ripping off Americans?
Craving something fresh, flavorful, and made just for you? Look no further than Avesta, your go-to destination for delicious, full-service dining experience. Dive into our customizable omelets, expertly crafted by
did you see the script that
who guarantees every bite is perfection.
That wasn't my stroke.
All our dishes are handmade, prepared with only the freshest ingredients. Explore our assembly line, where you can choose from any of our globally inspired dishes, or customize your plate. It's that easy. And let's not forget dessert. Indulge your sweet tooth with treats from Clark Bakery. With convenient payment methods including card or flex, it's the perfect dining spot for any occasion. Quench your thirst with our wide selection of drinks. Just hand your drinking card to our friendly waiter, and they'll bring your beverage of choice right to your table. When you're done savoring every last bite, our attentive staff will whisk away your tray. Enjoy the peaceful ambiance as you dine in, or use our takeout option for a meal on the go. Avesta.
Has this ever happened to you?
My bike! My bike is gone!
Stolen bikes are an epidemic sweeping college campuses across America.
What am I supposed to do?
It's quite simple. The We Mean Green Fund has partnered with the UNT Police Department to offer free bike locks to any UNT student with a bike. Just show up with your bike in tow and ask.
Now I'll never lose my bike ever again.
Enough worrying. Get your bike lock today.
It's been just 2 weeks since Hurricane Francine hit Louisiana. Now another major storm is forming in the Gulf of Mexico, and this one is expected to be the strongest storm of the season. CNN's Laura Aguirre has more on Tropical Storm Helene.
We always say, hide from the wind, run from the water.
Potentially life-threatening levels of both are bearing down on the southeastern U.S. this week. In Florida, local and state leaders are assuring the public Tuesday they're prepared for what's coming and a warning to take this storm seriously.
We go through training. We have experience with this. We have high water vehicles. All of that is in place. The question is, are you in place? Are all your plans ready to go?
Helene is expected to rapidly intensify over warm Gulf waters, on track to make landfall on Florida's northern Gulf Coast late Thursday, possibly as a Category 3 hurricane.
The Big Bend and Panhandle should be especially prepared for a direct impact.
This hurricane will have tropical storm force winds in excess of 250 miles from the center.
Florida's Emergency Management Executive Director says those winds will encompass the state's entire western coastline and stretch to the Atlantic side across most of the peninsula.
Go ahead, get those preparations done today. Make sure your entire family knows that disaster plan and what they should do.
The Tampa to Big Bend area was hit hard last summer by Hurricane Idalia, which roared ashore as a Category 3 in late August with record-breaking storm surge and devastating property damage.
This potentially could be even more powerful than Idalia. We'll see.
I'm Laura Aguirre reporting.
You know, and with all the storms we're getting, I really hope that everyone in the storm's path is going to be okay.
Me too, me too. Now let's go over to our weather anchor, Alexandria Teeters, with what's happening here in Texas.
Thanks, guys. Let's go ahead and start by taking a look at our local map. So we've got pretty much upper 80s to mid 80s across the board. We've got the higher temperatures over in Fort Worth, in Dallas, McKinney, and those are all sitting about 89 to 90. Taking a look at our regional map, we've got about the same temperatures, although over in El Paso, it is gonna be pretty hot at 91. And in Houston, it's gonna be our lowest temperature that we see regionally at 78. All right, taking a look at our 7-day forecast. Tomorrow, it's gonna be a high of 84 with a low of 60, a 6% chance of rain. We do have those thunderstorms tonight, so that might carry on into tomorrow with partly cloudy skies. Thursday, it's going to be a high of 84 with a low of 59 and a lower chance of rain at 4% with sunny skies. Friday, we're going to continue those sunny skies. It's going to go down a little bit to 83 degrees with a low of 60 and a 4% chance of rain again. On Saturday, we have a 3% chance of rain with partly cloudy skies, a high of 86 and a low of 61. On Sunday, we have partly cloudy skies once again, a high of 85 and a low of 59 with a 3% chance of rain. Monday and Tuesday, it is going to be heating up a little bit. Monday, the high is going to be 87, the low is going to be 62 with a 4% chance of rain and sunny skies. Sunny skies again on Tuesday with a high of 87 and a low of 60 with another 4% chance of rain. So overall, it's going to still be hot. Fall's not here yet, guys, but back to you guys at the desk. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks, Alexandria. You know, over the next few days, UNT and the city of Denton will be joining forces by sorting through over 1,200 pounds of donated clothing. Our segment anchor, Oscar Chavez, is live with more on how you can help reduce textile waste. Oscar?
Thanks, Jackson. Behind me is a bunch of clothing that is or needs to be sorted out. So if you're interested in helping your community sort clothing while gaining volunteer hours, you can sign up for UNT's Zero Waste Textile Sort-a-thon. This event, hosted by the City of Denton on Mary Hill Road, is by the Facility Management Building. It's a 3-day experience from September 25th through the 27th. Volunteers will not only aid the community, but also be in a fun place to meet with others and learn more about the impacts of textile waste. There are 2 shifts options for this event. So to find out more information, check out UNT's event calendar. That's all I got. Back to you at the desk.
Members of Congress accused the makers of a popular obesity drugs of ripping off Americans in an intense hearing today. The CEO of the company that makes Ozempic and Wegovy testified before a Senate committee this morning. Critics have pointed out that these drugs cost much more here in the U.S. than they do in other countries. The CEO defended that, saying the time spent developing these drugs is expensive and that the prices are beyond the company's control.
It is clear that patients too often struggle to navigate the complex U.S. healthcare system.
It is a profound moral issue.
The company did not rule out bringing the cost of these obesity drugs down. The CEO says he will work with members of Congress on possible solutions.
UNT is giving out free Narcan to raise awareness regarding substance abuse. Our segment anchor, Mackenzie Freeman, has more on the event. Mackenzie?
Thanks, guys. According to the most recent national survey on drug use, 48.7 million people in the United States struggle with substance abuse. With that number in mind, UNT is bringing awareness to the topic by hosting an Overdose Awareness Day tomorrow, September 25th, from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. on the University South Lawn. At this event, students will get education on ways to prevent overdose, symptoms of overdose, and Narcan demonstrations and distribution will be available. This event will be in partnership with RISE, or Recovery, Intervention, Support, and Education. However, its biggest partnership comes from the event holders of Hazing Prevention Week, which will work alongside those hosting Overdose Awareness Day. That's all I have for your health. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Mackenzie. Coming up, UNT is finding a new way to help students who are pregnant. We'll show you the welcome relief they now have.
And a Hall of Fame quarterback reveals a stunning health diagnosis.
Hey Alex, this guy on the internet says he wants to give me money.
That sounds suspicious.
What do you mean?
Typically, strangers who promise you money on the internet have their own best interest in mind. They often use bounced checks, which will disappear shortly after depositing, but not before they've asked for some money in return.
So he doesn't really want to spoil me?
No.
Well, then what should I do?
The best way to handle it is to block and report the suspicious message, or even consult local law enforcement if you've already fallen victim.
So I guess we aren't going to Key West for spring break?
No.
Your favorite app for posting selfies is making some big changes for teens using the app. ntTV's Andre Williams is here to talk about Instagram's new policy. Andre?
Thanks, Jackson. Yes, Instagram is taking some action aimed at protecting young users on its platform. Today, the social media's platform new teen account setting launched. This means that accounts for users under 18 will automatically be set to private and have more strict messaging settings. Only people they're connected to will be able to send them messages, tag them in photos, and mention them in comments. The new setting will also restrict what content they can view on the app, along with time limit reminders each day after they've spent an hour on the app. And Instagram will automatically mute notifications between the hours of 10 p.m. and 7 a.m. All these changes come nearly 3 years after Instagram's parent company Meta was put under fire for the risk the social media app posed for minors. And with pressure ramping up, Instagram finally takes action to protect their young users.
Thanks, Andre. Expecting parents don't have to wait any longer for parking at UNT. ntTV's Brooke Deering is here to tell us more about these new parking permits. Brooke?
Now, Madeline, behind me is a perfect example of one of the parking lots that is going to be home to UNT's new commuter system. It's called Stork Parking. Now, this is a place where expecting students can park, wait in their air-conditioned car, and then get on a shuttle so they don't have to walk or wait in the Texas heat to get all the way to class. Now, this is all thanks to UNT's coordinator for non-traditional and commuter student support, Laura Beck, who wanted to take some of the burden off of students who are pregnant. Commuter Care scholarships were launched over the summer, and the program bought 15 annual parking passes for the Denton, Frisco, and Discovery Park campuses, which cost $275. Not only this, but pregnant students will also have access to an on-campus supply closet, courtesy of Commuter Care program, that will have things like diapers and extra clothing for babies. So if you are expecting a little one, make sure you go onto UNT's parking portal where you can apply for one of these Stork parking passes, and you'll receive one of these passes which you can hang from your rear view window. Now this will take some of the weight off your shoulders, and that's all I have. Back to you at the desk.
Thank you, Brooke. Hall of Fame quarterback Brett Favre announces he's been diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. The Super Bowl 31 champion revealed his diagnosis while testifying in front of the House committee in Washington, D.C. today. This hearing on welfare reform spawns from a lawsuit brought by the state of Mississippi's as Favre's name was included in a welfare fraud case. Favre was not charged criminally, but there was one of the 36 people named in the lawsuit. Favre played 20 seasons, mostly with the Green Bay Packers.
Well, Jackson, I heard this was a pretty good week for Dallas hockey.
Yeah, it really was. Did you get a chance to watch that game last night?
I missed it, unfortunately.
Okay, well, if you get a chance, we're going to send it over to our sports anchor. Ready?
That's right, guys. The Stars are looking so bright this season. I'll have more on their preseason game, as well as how Dallas sports fans can finally tune into their favorite teams for free, and a change to UNT programs right after this.
My name is Amanda Hasbell, and I'm joining you here today in the Union Parking Garage. Today we're going to be going over how to drive safely in the parking garage. Let's go see. Oh my God! Oh my God! This girl just got hit by a car. Let's go see what happened. Ma'am, are you okay? Are you okay?
Did you see that lady hit me with a car?
Yeah, we did. I got it all on video.
Oh my God.
Let's go over here and talk about how we can prevent that.
Yeah, not the hospital.
Well, right now we're going to ask you a couple questions on how we can drive safely in the parking lot. What are ways that we can be aware of our surroundings?
Oh, we can look both ways.
Jenna, also, how about putting the distractions away?
Yes, just like our phones, turning our music down, and also not focusing on our passengers.
Where can you get information on how to get a parking pass?
Transportation.unt.edu.
If you park in a garage, make sure you pay on the app or look for further instructions on how you should pay.
And remember, no pass, no park. Let's all try to keep our Mean Green community safe.
Remember, we're all in this together.
Drive safe.
The NHL is finally back, and the Dallas Stars kicked off their first preseason game Saturday night against the St. Louis Blues, earning their first win 2-1. Their second game was last night against the Colorado Avalanche, and it gave rookies and new additions another chance to show their stuff. Dallas scored first with a wrist shot from Wyatt Johnston, and the Avalanche answered back with a snapshot from Matthew Phillips. The second period almost went by without a goal, but Colorado's Callum Ritchie made sure that didn't happen. Everything was on the line for the Stars in the third and final period, and they scored not one, but 2 goals, including an insane buzzer beater for a 3-2 win. And speaking of Dallas sports, both the Stars and the Mavs left Bally Sports Southwest and have new homes for their games. The Dallas Mavericks will have all non-nationally televised games through either Channel 8 on WFAA or Channel 29 on KMPX. The Dallas Stars will have theirs on Victory Plus, a new free ad-supported streaming service. The Stars are the first major men's sports franchise in the U.S. to bring its local broadcasts from a regional sports network to a streaming service like this, and fans, myself included, cannot wait to finally have full access to local hockey and basketball. And finally, UNT is constantly adapting to improve its wide selection of studies, but some of its changes include ending old programs to make room for new ones. ntTV's reporter Kenzie Neely and I captured the final semester of one group in the College of Liberal Arts and Social Sciences.
Have a great show, everybody. Merit. 1, 2, 3.
The end of the semester gives many students a sense of relief, but for some, it signals the end of an era. UNT is dissolving their dance majors into minors, and this performance includes the final class of students like Bailey Stevenson.
It's going to be my last time dancing as of right now with UNT since I am graduating. So it's a bittersweet moment for me, but I love to dance, so I know it's going to be a great one.
Bailey is one of the last students to graduate with a major in dance, and she's had a passion for it since middle school.
Performance has always been my love. It's me, the dance, and nothing else.
Although the major is no longer available, other dance programs are still hard at work shaping the next generation of professionals like Fenton McCollum.
They stopped taking majors summer of 2022, I think, but the minor still exists, the minor is still going strong, and we still have leadership, we still have classes.
As the lights dim and some bow for a final time, Bailey reflects on her experience, giving thanks to UNT for offering an impactful program.
I'm still going hard. I still love what I do. I'm very grateful for our professors here. Like I said, they're very supportive, and I don't know what I'm going to do without them. They're amazing, and I wish them the very best, and I'm so grateful for all they have done, for not only me, but like the entire department, all the work they put in.
For ntTV News, I'm Gabby Pippins.
Wednesday's choreography dance was a huge success, and it gave seniors one last experience before graduating. Please contact the College of Liberal Arts and Social Sciences to learn more about the dance minor and other related programs. And be sure to keep an eye out for student clubs and organizations dedicated to continuing the fun. That's all I've got for sports. Back to you guys at the desk.
Jackson, have you ever put bacon with your cotton candy?
I can't say I have.
Well, have you ever put bacon and cotton candy in your beer?
No, are you making this stuff up?
I swear I'm not. This is a real thing. The State Fair of Texas has announced the winners of its Big Choice Texas Awards, and one of them is Cotton Candy Bacon Beer. This cookie creation comes from Lakewood Brewing. It's marketed as a cotton candy bacon blonde ale. Judges say it's won for its smoky bacon flavor with a hint of sweetness from the cotton candy, and the competition doesn't stop there, as Lakewood Brewing is looking to take home the title of the zaniest beer at the fair.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'll be the judge of that. I'm trying every single beer there.
Well, you got to make sure to stay clear-headed for class.
Well, you know me, I will, I promise. Well, thanks for watching ntTV Nightly News.
Join us again tomorrow at noon and tomorrow evening at 6 here on North Texas Television.